are kind to somebody, when somebody does wrong and you forgive them, when you help them when they're in difficulty, you're helping me because you're seeing me in those people and in those me. And we pray that we will see Jesus in everybody, especially maybe the people that we don't want to see Jesus in. But I have another question for you this morning. And this is a beginning question. You don't have to answer it for me now, but I want you to think about it. That the gospel tells us that we should see Jesus in other people, right? But my question to you is, how well do you see Jesus in you? Do I think that Jesus is in me? That Jesus thinks that those people, the people out there who are in need, are very precious, and that when we touch them, we're touching Jesus? Do I think that when I touch me, would think that Jesus is in me, and that I am so precious, and that Jesus, when we look at me, we see Jesus in me and in each other? Or do I know that he is with me first of all? And that's very important to know that, because if we don't know, if I don't know that I am so precious in the eyes of Jesus, I really won't be able to see that other people are precious in the eyes of Jesus. If I think I'm useless, and if I think that God doesn't care about me, or that God doesn't really think I'm important, how can I think that other people are precious or important? We have to realize, first of all, that we are God's precious gift, and that God is in each one of us and really loves us. And now you could be saying, that's okay for the bishop to say he knows about that because he's dealing with religion all the time. But if you were in my shoes and you knew all the stuff that I did and all the stuff that I didn't do, and if you knew that I hadn't been saying prayers for a while, and if you knew that I hadn't been thinking about God, you wouldn't be saying that, oh, I'm so precious in God's eyes, because how could I be precious in God's eyes if I'm not that good? And that is the thing that I want to emphasize this morning. You are precious in God's eyes not because you are good. You are loved by God not because you did a whole bunch of good stuff. You are loved by God because you are God's child. You are God's precious child. And God created you and brought you into the world. And that's why God loves you. And sure, sometimes we forget to say our prayers. Sometimes we don't do very well. And sometimes we don't make the effort. And sometimes we commit sins. So God walks away from us? No, God doesn't walk away from us. Sometimes